All right, friends, we're going to get started lying on our back. You will need your belt or whatever you're using nearby. And we're going to start in Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of feet together, knees wide. If you like to place a block underneath each knee or thigh for a little bit of support, feel free to do so. And then rest your arms wherever it's comfortable. It could be out to the side with palms up, which is a bit more opening, or somewhere on the torso with palms down, which can be a bit more grounding. And then allow the eyes to close or to soften. Start by inviting a slow but deep breath in through the nose. And an exhale out of the mouth. And with your lips sealed, begin to find a steady breath in and out of the nose if it's comfortable. And just start to even out the inhales with the exhales, not by forcing the breath, but simply by bringing your attention onto the breath. Noticing how it feels to breathe into the body today and how it feels to exhale. So using this breath to really anchor your attention. And if you feel that your thoughts are quite fast right now or loud, then acknowledge that without feeling the need to judge it, and use the breath to really pull your attention to what's happening in this very moment. Letting go of any ideas of how you think this class will go or feel, and just really experiencing the moment as it is. Take one more cycle of breath. And then with your next breath in, allow the eyes to softly flutter open. Use your hands to draw your legs together, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, and then you'll grab your belt. Place the belt around the ball of the right foot and extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Flex your right toes down towards your face, push up through the heel, and give yourself enough room on that belt that you can straighten the right leg as much as it's comfortable. Keep the head, the shoulders relaxed, and now go ahead, extend the left leg long on the mat, flexing those left toes towards the face as well. And as you extend the left leg forward, can you really push the thigh into the ground? Sometimes that left knee and thigh likes to bow up, but push the left thigh or the femur bone down. Wrap the right outer hip down and in towards the left heel. Notice if the right hip is hiking up towards the right shoulder. And now every exhale, press the left thigh down a little more. Every inhale, start to draw the right leg in any amount more, never forcing, never pushing yourself over the edge. And then just notice right now that your pelvis is in a neutral position, meaning that two sides of the waist are equally long. Your frontal hip bones are square to the ceiling. There's a small amount of space between the low back and the mat. You're not flattening the low back to the mat. Now we'll try to keep all that as we change shapes. Hold both ends of the belt in the right hand. Place your left hand on your left thigh. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, slowly let that right leg start to open out towards the right. And don't go so far that that left hip pops off the ground, but instead push the left thigh down. Think about spinning the right ribs, the right side of the belly up towards the ceiling. Keep squeezing the right hip down and in towards the left heel. Keep pushing the left thigh down. Take one more cycle of breath. And then inhale, bring the right leg back towards center. Remove the belt and draw the right knee in towards your chest. You can just give it a little bit of a squeeze, hugging the knee in towards the shoulder. Now reach your arms forward, palms can face each other. Curl your head, your shoulders up or back off the mat. Keep the back of the neck long. Hover the left leg 1 inch off the mat. Now the only thing that's gonna move is this right leg. Inhale, send the right leg forward. You decide how low it is. Exhale, bring the knee back in towards the chest. Let's do 4 more. Inhale, right leg forward. Exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, right leg forward. Exhale, draw it in. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, bring it in. 1 more time, keep the body steady. Inhale, right leg forward. Exhale, draw it in. Bring the left knee in as well, lay all the way down. Give yourself a squeeze. And now place your feet down, grab the belt. Place the belt around the ball of the left foot and extend the left leg straight up towards the sky. Giving yourself enough room on the belt so that you can straighten the left leg as much as possible, even if it's much further away from you. It doesn't matter how close the leg is to your face. The more you push up through the heel, the more you'll start to open the back of the left leg, the hamstrings. And now go ahead, extend the right leg forward. And sometimes our attention only goes to the aerial leg, but can you be just as interested in the right leg? Flex the right toes towards your face. Spin the inner thigh slightly down. In other words, that right leg is not turning out. And now squeeze the left hip down and in towards the right heel so two sides of the waist are equally long. Do that as you push the right thigh down. Every exhale, press the right thigh down a little more as if the right leg could go through the ground. Every inhale, bring the left leg any amount closer to your face. You aren't a better person if you can bring your left leg closer into your face though, so don't force it. Take another breath. And now hold both ends of the belt in the left hand. Place the right hand on the right thigh. Take a breath in. Nice and slowly start to open the left leg out to the left. And the goal is not to get the left leg to the floor. The goal is to externally rotate the left thigh in the pelvis while keeping the pelvis neutral. Can you squeeze the left hip down and in towards the right heel? Spin the left ribs, the left side of the belly up towards the ceiling. One more cycle of breath. Relax the shoulders, the jaw. Inhale, bring the left leg back up. Bend the knee, remove the belt. You can just move it off to the side. Bring the left knee into your chest. Give it a nice squeeze. And now reach your arms forward. Curl your head, shoulders, upper back off the mat. Float the right leg 1 inch off the mat. And now on the breath, inhale, left leg forward. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest. I'm going more at like a diagonal. Inhale, left leg forward, then super low. Exhale, bring it in. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale, left leg forward. Exhale, bring it back in. Bring the right knee into your chest. Lay all the way down. Give yourself a squeeze. And then hands behind the thighs. Rock and roll up and down the length of your mat a few times. Get a bit of momentum. And as you're ready, we'll meet on hands and knees in a tabletop position. Stack your shoulders right over your wrists. Hips over the knees. Let's take just a few cat-cows. As you inhale, draw the heart forward and up. Exhale, reverse around the spine. Inhale, arch. Feel your tailbone curl up towards the ceiling, your pelvis tip forward. Exhale, round, lengthen the tailbone to the heels. Feel the pelvis tip backwards. Do that a couple more times on your own, just trying to wake up the body. Feel what's happening rather than thinking about it. And then after your next round, come back towards center in tabletop. Walk your hands forward a big 2 to 3 inches ahead of the shoulders. Make sure your hands are shoulder width apart, wrist creases parallel to the top edge of your mat. Tuck your toes under, push your hips back and up, downward facing dog. Glance back at your feet, make sure they're hip width apart with your inner heels extended straight back. Press down through every knuckle, every fingertip to send your hips high up towards the ceiling behind you. If you feel the low back rounding at all, take a bend in the knees so you can send your hips higher. Doesn't matter how straight the legs are, but find more length from your fingers to your shoulders to your hips. Relax the head and neck, the eyes, the jaw. Come back to that smooth and steady breath in and out of the nose. With your next inhale, come high on your toes. And exhale, take a little stroll to the top of the mat. We'll meet in a forward fold with our feet about hip width apart. Bend the knees, let the head drop towards the earth. Letting go of any extra loud thoughts today that are taking you away from this present moment. Keep a bend in your knees the whole time that you roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae, until your chin, the very last thing, lifts. And then reach your arms to the sky as you breathe in at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, fold, hinging at the hips, maybe a soft bend in the knees. Inhale, heart forward, slide the shoulders back. Plant your hands, step your left leg back. Lower the back knee to the mat. Make sure the front knee's over the ankle. Rise up to your low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Root down through the front heel. Try to lift the front hip off your thigh. Energize your arms. Reach up. Can you soften the front ribs down and in? Lift the back ribs off your waist. Take another breath. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck your back toes and now slide the right foot forward for half splits. Hands can of course come to blocks here. Make sure that left hip is over the left knee. Flex the right toes towards your face. And rather than rounding your spine, can you find a little more length? Reach the heart forward. Do that as you relax the head and neck. Squeeze the right hip back and in towards the left heel. Bring the left outer hip forward. Breathe into the back body. One more breath. Slide the right foot back. Lose the blocks and step to your plank pose. In your plank, catch your hips shoulder height. Reach your heart forward as you push the heels back. Use the legs, tops of thighs lifted, tailbone heavy. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower all the way to the belly. Once you land, point your toes. Reach your arms back by your sides. Press down through the tops of your feet. Inhale, peel your head, your chest, your shoulders off the mat for a locust pose. Press into every toenail, even the pinky toenails. Feel the quadriceps engage, kneecaps lift. Can you roll the heads of the shoulders back? Feel the shoulder blades glide in towards each other. Take another breath. Keep the height of your chest. And now place your hands down right underneath your elbows. Inhale, come to upward facing dog. Lift the thighs, but let the hips drop. Full breath in. Downward facing dog as you exhale, hips up and back. With your next inhale, raise the right leg up. Open up the hip. Bend your knee. Lift the right inner knee to the sky as you squeeze the left hip back in space. Straighten the arms a little more, and then straighten the right leg. Square off your hips, turn all the right toes towards the ground. Take a breath in. Exhale, tap your knee to your right upper arm. Try to get above the elbow. Step your foot outside your right hand. Get the front knee over your ankle. You're in this wide lizard lunge. Maybe grab your blocks. If it's helpful, take a breath in. Back heel stays high. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Long pyramid pose. Keep the reach in your heart. Lengthen your spine. The more you keep the length in the spine, the more you'll start to open the back of the right leg. Squeeze the right hip back and in towards the left heel. One more cycle of breath. Rebend the front knee. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Turn your toes out, heels in, bend the knees, come to Malasana. Drop your sitting bones, hands to heart center. Feel free to have a squat that's higher. Feel free to sit up onto a block or two. As you drop your sitting bones, try to straighten the spine. Take a breath in. Plant your hands, exhale, fold forward. Parallel your feet, bend the knees. Keep your knees bent, roll up. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Reach your arms at the top. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, heart forward, slide the shoulders back. Plant your hands, step the right leg back. Drop the back knee, make sure your front knee's over your ankle. Sweep your arms to the sky, low lunge. You can let your hips come forward in space, but can you lift the front of the pelvis, the frontal hip bones up? Lengthen the tailbone down. One more breath here, reach up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck your back toes, half split, slide the left foot forward. Maybe hands come to blocks. Right hip over the right knee. Squeeze the left hip back and in towards the right heel. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, heart forward, slide the shoulders back. Stay to exhale, breathe into the back of that left leg. Take another cycle of breath here, soften the shoulders, the jaw. And then rebend the front knee, step to your plank pose. In your plank, lift the frontal hip bones up and in towards the front ribs and lengthen the tailbone to the heels. So there's no trace of a back bend in the lower body, but then reach your heart forward as you push the heels back. One more breath. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Point your toes. Reach your arms straight back. Press down through your feet. Inhale, peel the head, the chest, the shoulders off the mat. Spin your inner thighs up towards the ceiling. Do that as you firm the outer ankles in. Very slightly lengthen the tailbone to the heels, especially if you're feeling this in the low back. Take another breath in. Keep the height of your chest. And now place your hands down right underneath your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, shoulders over the wrist. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips back and up. Take a long inhale. Stay to exhale. Inhale, raise the left leg up. Open the hip. Bend your knee. Lift the left inner knee to the sky as you squeeze the right hip back in space. Straighten that left leg, square off the hips, take a breath in. Exhale, tap your knee to your left upper arm and step the foot outside that left hand. Lizard lunge, front knee over the ankle, maybe grab your blocks, take a breath in. Back heel stays high. Exhale, straighten the front leg. And this left hip likes to hike up towards the left shoulder. So press into the ball of the left foot and wrap that left hip back towards the right heel. Keep a little more length in the spine. One more breath. Rebend the front knee, step the right foot outside the right hand. Turn your toes out, heels in. Bend your knees, come to your low squat. Adjusting as needed, hands to heart center. Try to press your arms against your legs. Squeeze your outer arms with your inner thighs. Take a breath in. Plant your hands, exhale, folds. Parallel your feet, bend your knees, and slowly roll up. Vertebrae by vertebrae. At the top, reach your arms to the sky, full breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Find your mountain pose. Feet can stay about hip width apart or big toes touching, little space between the heels. Rest your arms by your sides. Press down through your feet. Reach the crown of your head up. Now let's take a few rounds of Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, rock forward, reach the heart forward. Plant your hands beside your feet, either step to plank or hop to bent elbows. Chaturanga, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. And always take the vinyasa that makes sense for you. So although I will teach that classical vinyasa with chaturanga, up dog, down dog, know that you can always lower to the belly instead of halfway. You could always take baby cobra instead of up dog. You could even do cat cows or child's pose. So make it a practice of listening today. And that's the real advanced yoga practice, listening, honoring what you need. Press down through every knuckle, every fingertip. Push your hips up and back. Take one more long inhale here. End of your exhale, feet to your hands, step or lightly hop. Lengthen at the top. Exhale, folds. Press up to stand, root to rise, reach up. Exhale, arms by your sides. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rock forward, heart forward. Plant your hands, step or hop to bent elbows, chaturanga. Come through your vinyasa. Move with your breath. Take the poses that make sense for you today. Not what you needed yesterday or last yoga class, but what your body needs now in this moment. Press down through your inner hand, thumb and index finger. Do that as you spin the inner arms forward and wrap the outer arms in. Keep pushing your hips up and back, high up towards the ceiling behind you. Let the head and neck hang freely. One more long inhale here, push back. End of your exhale, feet to your hands, step or lightly hop forward. Lengthen at the top. Exhale, folds. Press up to stand, raise your arms to the sky, Utthita Hastasana. And exhale, arms by your sides, back to Tadasana, mountain pose. From your mountain pose, bend your knees, raise your arms, come to chair pose, Utkatasana. Press your shins back, get the weight in the heels and the hips. As you go down in the back with the hips, go up with your arms. Move the front ribs down and in. Take another breath here. Start to shift the weight into the right leg. And now pick up your left foot, bring your left knee into your chest. Lift the left knee as high as you can. Press the right thigh back. Find that lift in the low belly. Full breath in, reach up. Now nice and slowly, step the left leg long and back to a high lunge. Take a moment to pause, adjust your feet as needed. Root down through the front heel as you bend the front knee. Try to lift the front hip up and off the thigh and lengthen the tailbone down. Reach the arms a little higher, take another inhale. Exhale, airplane your arms back, lean forward and hover the ribs over the front thigh. You're in a diagonal lunge, bend the front knee. Root down through the front heel, squeeze the right hip back and in towards the left heel and push the left thigh up. Roll the shoulders back, one more breath. Get longer from the crown of the head to the back heel. Exhale, hands to your mat, step to your plank, come through your Vinyasa. Your Vinyasa could, of course, be coming straight to down dog as well. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the nose. Lift it as high as you can. Step the right foot forward. Get toes in line with fingers. Spin the back heel down. Line up your front heel with your back arch and open up wide to warrior two. So take a nice long stance. Work towards making the front thigh parallel to the mat. Front knee over the ankle, in line with the second toe. Root down through the front heel. Try to lift the front hip off your thigh and firm the left outer hip in. Notice if the back knee's bowing forward, push the left thigh back. Do that as you release the tailbone down. And now soften the eyes, soften the shoulders. Keep the bend in the front leg, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, tip up and back, full breath in. Exhale, hands to the mat, come to the ball of the back foot and step to the top of your mat. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, folds. Bend your knees, raise your arms, chair pose. Here we are again. Go down and back with the hips. Up with your arms. Begin to shift the weight into your left foot. Pick up the right. Stand all the way up on the left leg. Lift the right knee as high as you can. Push the left thigh back. Lengthen the tailbone down. Another breath here. Step the right leg long and back, high crescent lunge. And adjust your feet as needed. Find your balance. Bend the front leg a little bit more. Lift the pubic bone up and in towards the navel. Lift the back ribs up and off your waist. One more breath. Exhale, airplane your arms back, lean forward, hover over the front thigh. Palms face down so your shoulders can draw back. Can you bend the front leg and squeeze the left hip back and in towards the right heel? Push the right thigh up. Get longer from the crown of the head to the back heel. One more breath. Exhale, hands to the mat, come through your Vinyasa. Inhale, raise the left leg up. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the nose. Lift it as high as you can and step the left foot forward. Toes in line with fingers, spin the back heel down. Line up your front heel with your back arch. Open up wide, warrior two. So we always adjust whatever's on the ground first. And that's really the foundation of your pose. And if your foundation's not strong, as we know, nothing else works as well. Take a nice long stance between your feet. Work towards making the front thigh parallel to the mat. Keep all this strength rooting through the legs, the feet. And then can you soften the eyes over the left fingers? Soften the shoulders. Keep the bend in the front leg. Flip the front palm. Reverse the warrior. Tip up and back. Full breath in. Hands to the mat, come to the ball of the back foot, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, fold. Come all the way to stand. Raise your arms to the sky. Exhale, arms by your sides, Tadasana. Bring your hands to your hips. Stand up on the right leg. You're going to start to pick up the left foot. Bring the left knee in towards your chest. And now turn the left knee out to the side and come into your tree pose. You could rest the left foot on the ground, below the knee, or on the upper thigh. With your hands on your hips, notice if the left hip is hiking up, which it probably is. Draw the left hip down towards the right heel, but then firm the right hip in towards the midline. And then if you'd like, raise your arms to the sky. Press down through the entire right foot, the big toe mound, the heel, reach up, lift up and out of your legs. Another deep breath in. Bring the left knee forward into the chest and now nice and slowly step long and back to your high crescent lunge. Stay to exhale, adjust your feet, find your balance, full breath in. Exhale, airplane your arms back, hover over the front thigh. Find one spot on the ground to look at, take an inhale. Exhale, shift forward into Dekasana. Stand on the front leg, float the back foot off the mat, arms are back or hands to blocks under shoulders. Now firm the right hip in. Spin the left outer hip down, inner thigh up. Roll the shoulders away from the floor, one more breath. Nice and slowly bring your hands to the mat. Make sure you can bring your palms flat. Bend your right knee as much as you need. And my hands are about a foot in front of the right foot. Hands shoulder width apart. Now, option one, you'll step back to your plank, come through your vinyasa. If you want to play with a little hop, lift the right heel, come to the ball of the foot, look a little forward, and then you're going to think chest forward, land with bent elbows, hop the right leg back. Then come through the vinyasa. So play with that if you'd like. And we'll meet in downward facing, and then just let it go because it's really not that important. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, knee to your nose. Step the right foot forward. Spin the back heel down. Open up wide. Warrior two. Stay for a breath. Root down through your feet. Steady the breath. Another inhale. Straighten the front leg. Walk your back foot in a tiny bit. Back to a slightly angled forward. Lift the knees, the thighs, engage the quads. Reach the right arm out and up. Go for length. Right hand to a block or lightly against the shin for triangle. Press into the right big toe mound. Hug the right hip back towards the left heel. Notice if the left knee is bowing forward, push the left thigh back. And we are turning our chest towards the long edge of the mat, but we're not in a back bend. Soften the front ribs down towards the frontal hip bones. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Get planted through your feet with your next exhale. Use the strength of your legs as you inhale, come all the way to stand. Bend the front knee, warrior two. Walk the right foot forward as needed. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, full breath in. Exhale, hands to the mat and pause. Come to a runner's lunge on the ball of the back foot. Reach the right arm to the sky. Twist to the right. Now start to turn all your toes to the right. Walk the right foot down the long edge of the mat. Come to the outer edge of your back foot. Can you lift the bottom hip higher? Feel free to stay right here or stack the right foot on the left foot for a side plank Vashisthasana. Lift the bottom hip. Lift up and out of the bottom arm. One more breath. Place the top hand down, find a plank pose. Now pick up the right foot, take an inhale. Exhale, tap the right knee to the right upper arm. Step the right foot outside the right hand. Step the left foot outside the left hand. Drop the sitting bones, hands to heart center. Find your squat. Take a deep breath in. Now exhale, stand all the way up. Bring your feet together, hands to your hips. Let's do the other side. Start to stand on the left leg. Pick up the right foot. Turn the right knee out to the right, find that external rotation, and then find your tree pose. Maybe rest the toes on the floor, foot below or above the knee. And now notice if the right hip is hiking up. Move the right hip down towards the left heel. Do that as you firm the left hip in towards the midline. Your hips are square to the top of the mat, not rotating to the right. If you'd like, raise your arms, grow your tree. If you fall out of balance, that's okay. When we're out of balance, that's how we get stronger. It's how we grow. Bring the right knee back into the chest. Lift it as high as you can. Full breath in. Step the right leg long and back, high lunge. Adjust your feet, find your balance. Full breath in. Exhale, airplane your arms back, hover over the front thigh. Firm the left hip in towards the midline. And then inhale, launch forward into Dekasana. Hands can of course come to blocks under shoulders. Press into your left big toe mound. Think about lifting the left knee, the thigh. Dial all the right toes to the ground. One more breath, lift the front body away from the floor. And now slowly bring hands to the ground, about a foot in front of you, palms flat on the mat. Bend the left knee as much as you need to make that happen. So option to either step straight back to plank, or if you want to play with that little hop, hands shoulder width apart, lift the left heel, look forward, really think chest forward, take a little hop, land and bend elbows. Come through your Vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing. Inhale, raise the left leg up. Exhale, bring the knee into the nose. Step the left foot forward, spin the back heel down. Open up wide, warrior two. Stay for a breath, settle into the pose. And now straighten the front leg. Walk the back foot in a little bit. Back toes slightly angled forward. Lift the knees, the thighs, engage the quads. Reach your left arm out and up. Left hand to a block or lightly against the shin, Utthita Trikonasana. Press into the left big toe mound, squeeze the left hip back and in towards the right heel. Do that as you push the right thigh back. You can think about leaning the chest back a little bit, but can you lift the back ribs up and off your waist? Stay for another breath, get rooted through your feet. Use the strength of your legs, come all the way to stand. Warrior two, bend the front knee, lengthen the stance. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. Exhale, hands to the mat and pause. Come to the ball of the back foot. Runner's lunge, twist, reach the left arm to the sky. Walk the left foot down the long edge of the mat and turn all your toes to the left. Now feel free to stay. I love this variation of side plank, or stack left foot on right foot. In both variations, practice engaging the bottom hip. Push down with your bottom hand, one more breath. Top hand down, come to your plank. Pick up the left foot, take an inhale. Exhale, tap your knee to your left upper arm. Step the foot outside the left hand. Step the right foot outside the right hand. Drop your hips, hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in. Plant your hands, exhale, fold. Turn your toes forward, feet about hip width apart. Hook onto your big toes with your two peace fingers. As you inhale, rock forward, offer your heart forward. And exhale, fold in. If you feel this in the low back, take a bend in the knees. Let the head release towards the floor. Lift and spread the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, heart forward again. This time slide your feet underneath your feet, Padahastasana. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, rock forward, heart forward. Without shifting back, exhale, fold. So if you feel this in the low back, do bend the knees. Sometimes that's not enough. You can place your hands on blocks, as so, in the exact same shape. Sometimes you can do that, and then if you weren't able to straighten your legs, now you can. And then you get the hamstring stretch as well as a nice wrist stretch, which is nice. Release the head towards the earth. One more breath. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips, lead with your chest, and come all the way to stand. All right, so we've got one last little standing piece to go. Go ahead, grab your belt. We're gonna take the first pose that we started class with, but this time standing, which of course makes it harder. So we'll start by placing the belt around the ball of the left foot and bring the right hand to the right hip. Find your drishti spot as something to gaze at. Press down through the right foot, pick up the left foot, but start with the bent knee variation. I like to hold from the inside of the leg. Press the right thigh back, and now inhale, extend the left leg forward. Wrap the left hip down and in towards the right heel. So two sides of the waist are equally long. Feeling a little wobbly now, that's okay. Keep firming the right hip in. Take a breath in. Notice how your hips are square to the top of the mat. Keep that as you start to open the left leg out to the left. It's like a door opening. Keep spinning the left ribs forward. Keep firming the right hip in. Flex your toes towards your face. Inhale, bring the left leg forward. Drop the belt, reach your arms to the sky, take the belt off your foot, lift the left leg as high as you can, full breath in. Step long and back to your high lunge. Take a deep breath in, reach up. Exhale, airplane the arms back. Inhale here, keep the gaze steady. I'm going to move my belts. Launch forward, Dekasana. Hands can of course come to blocks. Firm the right hip in. Lift the front body away from the floor. One more breath. Slowly place your hands on the ground. Hands flat on the mat, shoulder width apart. So option 1, step to plank. Option 2, lift the right heel, take that little hop back to chaturanga. Option 3, if you'd like a handstand hop, look forward, lift the right heel, and then take 1 to 3 handstand hops. I'm gonna think I just wanna get the left leg up. And you might get a little hang time or not, and it doesn't really matter. If you do, hop back to bent elbows, come through your vinyasa, and we'll meet in down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, bring the knee into the nose. Step the right foot forward, spin the back heel down. Open up wide, warrior 2. Take a breath in. Straighten the front leg, shorten the stance a bit. Reach the right arm out and up. Right hand to a block or lightly against the shin. Now, if you're in a good spot, stay steady. If you'd like to play with hooking onto the right big toe with the 2 peace fingers, it does require quite a bit of length in the right hamstrings. Bend the right knee, hook onto the big toe with your 2 peace fingers, and then re-straighten the right leg as much as you can. If it doesn't straighten all the way, don't force it. Always practice with ahimsa, non-harm. If you have the big toe, see if you can keep it. Rebend the front knee. Place the left hand down. Come to the ball of the back foot. Now we're coming towards side plank. You could turn all the toes to the right. Keep the right foot stepped in front of the left leg. You could stack right foot on left foot, or holding onto the big toe, take Vashisthasana 2. Practice lifting the bottom hip. Open the chest. One more breath. Place the top hand down. Come to your plank pose. Pick up the right foot. Now option to just lower the right foot. Come straight to down dog. Maybe take a vinyasa. If you want to play with an arm balance, pick up the right foot. Bring the right knee to the right upper arm. Lean forward, bend the elbows, and play with Ekapada, Cooldown 2. If you can extend the right leg, do so. I don't have room. And then you might step back, come through your vinyasa, and find down dog. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Drop to your knees. Come to a child's pose. Take about 5 or so breaths in your child's pose. I've got Kaya here giving me some encouragement before we go on to the next side. In your child's pose, see if you can even out the breath, and with every exhale, can you soften a little bit more? Can you let go a little bit more so that you can go into this next side with a fresh, open mind, with no expectations, no assumptions, no judgments, but the ability to experience each moment fresh and exactly as it is. Take about 2 more breaths, and then you'll crawl your hands forward. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Take a long breath in, and a gentle breath out. Inhale, come high on your toes. End of your exhale, step or hop, feet to your hands. Lengthen at the top, heart forward. Exhale, folds. Come all the way to stand, raise your arms to the sky. And exhale, arms by your sides, Tadasana. Grab your belts. This time we're going to stand on the left leg. You'll place the belt around the ball of the right foot. Left hand to left hip, keep the gaze steady. Pick up the right foot and start with the bent knee variation so that we can focus on the left leg, not the right. Push the left thigh back, firm the outer hip in towards the midline, and then extend the right leg forward. Notice how the right hip likes to hike up. Squeeze the right hip down and in towards the left heel, but then firm the left hip in. Feel how your hips are shining towards the top of the mat. Keep that. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly open the right leg out to the right. Notice if you just twisted to the right, bring the right outer hip forward. Keep firming the left hip in. Take another breath. Bring the right leg forward. You can drop the belt, lift the right leg as high as you can. Reach 2 arms to the sky. Take a full breath in. Exhale, step long and back, high crescent lunge. Find your balance, adjust the feet as needed. Inhale here. Exhale, airplane your arms back. Take a breath in, heart forward. Exhale, launch forward. Stand on the front leg. Float your back foot off the mat. Firm the left hip in. Spin the right outer hip down, inner thigh up. Another inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Palms flat on the mat. Hands shoulder width apart. Option 1, step straight to plank. Option 2, take that little hop back to bent elbows. Option 3, look forward, lift the left heel. Play with 1 to 3 handstand hops. You might get a little hang time trying to get the right leg up. And if you do, you might hop back to chaturanga. Come through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing. Inhale, raise the left leg up. Exhale, bring your knee into your nose. Step the left foot forward, spin the back heel down. Open up wide, warrior 2. Stay for a breath. Draw the front leg straight, shorten the stance a bit. Reach the left arm out and up. Left hand to a block or lightly against the shin, Utthita Trikonasana. Now, you might stay here. This might be plenty. If you want to grab the big toe, again, lots for the left hamstrings. First, bend the left knee. Grab the big toe with the 2 peace fingers. Then re-straighten the leg. Do that by lifting the knee, the thigh up. Reach the heart forward, not down. Turn the chest open towards the long edge of the mat. Now, keep the big toe if you have it. Bend the front knee, place the right hand down. Come to the ball of the back foot. You'll start to turn the back toes to the left and then come to your variation of side plank. Could be left foot stepping in front of right leg, could be stacking feet, or taking Utthita Vashisthasana 2. Lift the bottom hip, open the chest, take a breath. Top hand down, come to your plank. Now, feel free to come straight to down dog. If you want a vinyasa, take it, or that arm balance. Pick up the left foot, take an inhale. Exhale, tap your left knee to your left upper arm. I'm resting my thigh on the arm. Bend the elbows as you look forward. And then go so far forward that the back leg floats off the mat. You might extend the left leg out to the side. And you might step to chaturanga. Come through your vinyasa. I'll meet in down dog. Take a long breath in. Gentle breath out. Drop to your knees. Child's pose. Point the toes, the hips melts back. Rest the arms in whatever way is comfortable. You might roll out the forehead a couple of times. And then roll up. Sitting back on your heels. Tense your fingertips behind you. Puff up the chest. Draw the front ribs in. Option to stay or lift the hips off the heels any amount. Maybe lift the gaze. Take a breath in. And exhale, lower. Crawl your hands forward. Come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come high on the toes. End of your exhale, step the right foot in between your hands. Drop the back knee. Grab your blocks or whatever you're using. Find your half split, slide the right foot forward, come onto your heel. So find your alignment first. Left hip over the left knee. Flex the right toes towards the face and reach the heart forward, finding more length in the spine. You might decide that this is plenty and you'll stay steady. If you want to work towards full splits, Hanumanasana, inch the right foot forward. Really go inch by inch, moving the left foot back as much as you can. You might walk the hands back a bit. If you're coming towards full splits, you might place a block under the right thigh. So go to your variation of the pose. Try to spin the left outer hip forward. Squeeze the right hip back and in towards the left heel. So we're trying our best to spin the left hip forward rather than allowing the pelvis to completely open to the left. We're trying our best to keep the length in the spine. And the goal is not to get your hips to the floor. That won't make your life better. But the yoga is being present every step along the way. Not judging the practice, but being present with it. Relax the jaw. Take one more full inhale. Stay to exhale. Slowly slide the right foot back, rebend the knee. Plant your hands on the mat, step straight to downward facing dog. No vinyasa. Take a breath in. And clearing breath out, let that side go. Inhale, come high on your toes. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Drop the back knee. Grab your blocks. Keep the back toes tucked under. Slide the left foot forward. Come onto your heel for half splits. So right hip over the right knee. Find your alignment first. Squeeze the left hip back because we don't want to just rush into the pose. That's not the yoga. This is the yoga right now. Can you be present? Reach the heart forward. Find a little more length in the spine. And then the yoga is the choice you make. Is this enough? If so, don't push yourself. If you're able to go a little further, then be willing to step a little bit outside of your comfort zone. Slide the left foot forward. Maybe inch the right leg back. Each side of the body is different. You might slide a block under the left hip if you're working towards full Hanumanasana. This is my much tighter side, so I won't be going as deep into the pose. Keep the length in the spine. Keep a lift in the low belly. Squeeze the left hip back towards the right heel. That'll help bring the right outer hip forward. And then breathe fully wherever you're at. Breathe into the part of the body where you're feeling the most sensation. One more cycle of breath. Slide the left foot back, rebend the knee, move the blocks to the side, and make your way into one last downward facing dog. Press the thigh bones back, push your heels back. Take a long breath in, clearing breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, drop to the knees, swing your feet off to one side. And come to lay all the way down on your back. On your back, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. Bring the arms out wide to a T with palms up. Cross the right knee over the left knee, crossing at the thighs. Move the hips to the right and drop the knees to the left a little bit. You might go and turn the gaze to the right. Allow the eyes to either soften or to close so that there's less outside distractions. Relax the shoulders. Let go of any gripping in the hands. Start to make your way back towards center. Uncross your legs. Place your feet on the ground. Thank you, Kaya, for the kisses. Cross the left thigh over the right thigh. Move the hips to the left. Drop the knees to the right. And go and turn the gaze to the left. Allowing the eyes to soften or close as we bring the attention back inward after all of that physical and external movement. And that's what the whole practice is about, bringing the attention inward, finding a little more stillness. Come back through center. Uncross your legs, place your feet on the ground. Draw your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze, bringing gratitude towards the body. And then reach your arms and your legs up towards the sky and just roll out your wrists and your ankles about 8 or so times in one direction. And we did a lot on our hands today, so give the wrist a little break. Once you've done that about 8 times, switch, go the other direction, drawing circles. We also did a lot of balance work. So start to feel all that energy from your feet release down. And then draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself one more final squeeze. And as you're ready, extend your legs long on the mat, setting up for Savasana. Set up this pose just as thoughtfully as you set up any other pose today. And this is the yoga in this moment, how you set up this pose, the props you decide to use. Allow the body to relax as much as possible. Take a slow but deep breath in through the nose. Really inflate the belly with air. And exhale out of the mouth. Let go of any forced or controlled breath at this point. And for the last few moments of your practice, simply keep your attention on that natural rise and fall of the breath, softening a little bit more with each exhalation. Begin to deepen your breath. Invite small, gentle movements back into the body, wiggling fingers and toes. Bend your knees, place your feet on the ground. Reach the right arm behind you and roll onto the right side of your body. And using your hands to help prop yourself up, we'll meet in a seated posture with our eyes closed or the gaze soft. In your seat, really root down through the sitting bones, lengthen the spine a little bit more. And keeping the lift in the chest as you inhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Exhale, lower the chin. Surrender towards heart center, to the quiet that can be found within. Namaste.